And then when they're not like aware anymore, then they attack them. When they know that they're outside of the bunkers, that's when they attack. Pretty smart move. Not gonna lie. So now they're just like sending small little missiles here and there to keep them awake.
Who's shooting missiles?
Iran.
Shooting missiles
like just,
into Israel?
Yeah, but not doing any damage, just to keep them like awake. Just like they do. You know that they torture people this way. So they're doing the same thing. They're using the same
I know. I think they're doing it to map out
also yeah, their system. Definitely, and also because they've been like, Israel has been having some issues with their alert system, so they missed out I think 3 or 4 missiles. So it's really interesting to see.
And they landed?
They landed, yeah. And they missed them, and they only told people, they only did the red alert when the missiles were already in Lebanon.
That's in Lebanon?
Yeah. So
wait,
that's pretty
are we
bad.
talking about something totally different?
No. I'm talking about the missiles. Usually they have to detect them before even arriving.
No, I know, but you're talking about something. Are you talking about right now, or are you talking about?
I'm talking about right now. This is
right now. Why are they in Lebanon?
I mean, I don't know, but they're just in the airspace of Lebanon. That's what I meant. In the airspace.
Who's in the airspace of Lebanon?
The missiles, the attacks.
Oh.
Are they then Hezbollah?
No.
Then why would they be in Lebanon?
No clue.
I mean, I'm not blaming you. It sounds like I'm blaming you.
No. But yeah, I mean, they have their tactics. We know they have other military bases they used in other countries as well, including Syria. So it makes sense in a way. It's hard to tell, but it is happening.
They're hovering in Lebanon, or they're going across to Israel?
Across to Israel.
From Lebanon.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's going to Haifa.
Exactly, Haifa and the north of Israel.
Okay, so maybe they went around and went across Lebanon to Israel.
But they didn't really launch anything major so far.
No, nothing major. As I said, it's just to keep them awake.
I think they're testing.
For sure, but it's really interesting.
They're delivering some sort of cyber attack into they're in the top 5 most sophisticated cyber attack warfare nations on the planet. Iran.
Yeah, but so I'll clear some things up. So you're right in the sense of they're keeping them up as cyber attacks, all that stuff. But the reason why Iran is showing a lot of restraints is for 2 reasons. They're trying to urge the Iraqi the leader to fight with them, and they know that if the Iraqi leader turns to Israel and all that stuff, they'll start shooting down those missiles as well. That's the talk that's going on right now. So they're trying to use Lebanon as a way to guide their missiles straight to Israel, just in case. That's number one. Second thing is they're trying to show a type of restraint that when the Western leaders go ahead and speak, they're not speaking in favor of Israel. So mind you, in a closed-door meeting, I forget which country it was, they went ahead and told Israel at the beginning of this, you only did this because we started cracking down on you for basically committing a genocide on the Gazans, right? We were sanctioning you for this. Now you want to get rid of the sanctions. And if Iran keeps on looking like the more reasonable party in this, the Westerns won't. They're hoping that the Western nations will stop talking to Israel and start talking to them more, right? Which heightens their position. Third, of course, the keeping awake. Fourth is a kind of tactic that is kind of weird. So when you send a small group of missiles, you're trying to go ahead and test out which systems you can compromise, and then what do you say?
That's not weird. That's electronic warfare. That is
electronic warfare, but what they're trying to do is something completely different. They're trying to get Israel to initiate the lock-on sequences to their missiles and stuff.
Yeah, that's not weird. That's literally standard procedure.
Yes, so they're trying to find out the time it takes for the missiles to blow up, one. But two, if they can go ahead and sabotage the missiles as they're being launched, right? So it's in that small batches. Remember how the Iron Dome's getting hacked right now? They're trying to do it in a way where it looks like Israel's just hitting its own civilians at this point. Or the missiles are failing, all that stuff, whatever, so they have to go into maintenance mode. That's a type of psychological warfare they're trying to do on the military, so make the Israeli people think that their military is inept, which I think is very smart, but that's why I said it was a little weird.
What kind of missiles? Are these large missiles, small missiles?
That I don't know. That's more of an Iranian thing, but like, I know that they're just testing it out in batch, because in cybersecurity, we talk about psychological, warfare or psychological tactics, right? It's, it's, you want to make your enemy not know what your next step is, right? So the only thing I can think of, if they're messing with the systems, messing with their mentality, everything like that, Iran's not going to send a huge payload, at least from where I'm sitting. I don't think Iran's going to send a huge payload like everyone's thinking that they're going to do, right? But Iran is going to cripple Israel to a point where Israel has to bend the knee to Iran, right? And when they come back to that negotiations table, when they have to go ahead and set their terms for the peace talks, they'll just be like, look, we were able to make you bend the knee. What do you think? You can keep up with this war? Because you can't, right? And if Iran does that, they're successful in becoming a nuclear weapon, or acquiring nuclear weapons.
Well, I mean, you've been going on. So I want to stop you because you're saying something that I think may, and you could continue, maybe you should think about here. Israel has been moving their air defense systems around, and there's been videos of people shocked to see the air defense system, the batteries, like right next door to their house. Yeah. And they find out when the thing goes off, and they look outside and they see the battery right there. So they've been moving them around. So this may be Iran recalibrating again to figure out where the air defense systems are, because they've been moved around.
I'm going to be honest. You're right. That could be the case. But what's more likely is the fact that, remember how I was saying earlier today that Israel has been starting to hold their own citizens hostage, right? The thing is, okay, so there's a thing that Dick Cheney wrote some time ago before the Iraq War, right? And he basically said, look, the sentiment against going to war with Iraq is no one supports it, we'll look like the bad guy, whatever, XYZ thing. But then 9/11 happened, right? And then Dick Cheney immediately, without blinking his eyes, just went ahead and started constituting this whole thing of, oh, we need to go to war, we need to go to war, we need to go to war, right? Now, I don't know if anything will happen to America, I'll be very honest. If we have another 9/11, I don't think it will go the way the Israelis are thinking. But what I think the Israelis have been doing, though, is if they put those missile systems, at least some of them, next to residential, they're going to try and plead to the Western government saying, look, they're targeting civilians, right? This is
there are videos showing that they're doing this, so I think they look really bad. And I do agree with you. And I agreed, from the beginning I said, and because you could see in True Promise 1 and 2, the way that was conducted, Iran wants to come out as the one that is on the moral high ground. They want to come out this way, and I think that's one of the main reasons why they're being very methodical. They're showing restraint. They're showing that we're not going to just attack all the time. We're going to take our time and pick our target and then attack and think about it. We're a responsible nation that isn't reflexive, isn't reactive, and that's what they've done, and that's what they've shown so far. There's just this calmness, this calmness out of Iran, and this franticness out of Israel.
Yeah. Watch closely as Trump just cut short his visit to the G7 summit, going back because he's being pressured by the Israelis to join the war.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was hours ago. They're actually in talks. It looks like Iran has signaled that they are ready to sit down, and I guess Israel has also. And the White House came out about a half an hour ago. Israel said that the U.S. was, what was it, sending fighter jets or something, and the White House came out and said, and quoted and said, Channel 14 is incorrect. This is wrong. We are not involved in this war. We're not getting involved in this war. And we're not sending anything to the Middle East that will get us involved in the war. So that came out a half an hour ago.
And Edward, I have to tell you something about Tehran. In Tehran, we have 360 kilometers of underground, metro, If they hit Tehran with normal bombs, with normal missiles, people are safe there. 360 kilometers of underground. If you look at the map, it is available in internet. If you check it out, Tehran's underground is the 8th on earth. It's in top 10.
Is it subway or is it bunkers? Subway system?
Yeah,
Yes.
subway. No,
Yeah.
yes, not
That doubles as bunkers. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so people can hide there for normal bombs, But if they hit Tehran with a nuclear bombs, it's a different situation. People can go out. We have mountains. If you look at the map of Iran has a very special geography. 63% of the country is on the mountains, and under those mountains, drones, rockets, missiles, everything there. So it's unreachable. Our weapon is not touchable for them. So we can fight them back. We have been calculating all these scenarios, brother. We're ready for it. We have no...
But I'll be very frank and honest here. I don't think you'll ever get to the point where a nuke is being sent towards you guys, because, again, the Western societies are not on board with everything Israel's doing, right? And Israel has no justification. Plus, if Israel even goes ahead and sends out a nuclear warhead, it's going to be devastating on Israel's half more than it would be on Iran. I'm not talking about casualties here.
Instant sanctions. The world would sanction Israel instantly. Nuclear weapons is the ultimate red line that no one is allowed to cross. No one.
Can you jump in?
Exactly.
Or something?
Sure.
So when they're talking about nuclear bomb, they're not talking about the old way of the nuclear bombs. They have developed a new kind that's it has much smaller impact, way bigger than the regular missiles, but way less than the.
You're talking about
tactical or something.
Yeah.
So
let's fall out. Yeah.
And if they want to use it, they're not going to use it on top of Tehran. They're going to use it on top of Fordo, which is a nuclear.
Yeah, but it falls under the same category. The U.S. talked about this a couple of years ago.
Trump
I'm sorry.
Trump
They talked.
asked to develop this to be used.
Yeah.
Last time he was the president.
So they talked about this as a policy and determined that using a tactical nuke, because it's still a nuclear weapon, it opens the door for other countries to also use the same tactical nuclear weapon, and then it would make it easier to use even larger nuclear weapons. So that was ruled out as being used.
So actually, I was watching a video on YouTube, and he was a famous guy. I forgot his name. He was saying that if US start to use this, Russia would be the next one, and he would use it on Ukraine.
Exactly.
And then they're not going to be as dumb to be the first one to use it.
And then other countries could buy it. Could buy these small nuclear tactical weapons and use them.
That might be the case, and they said that
that's the chain reaction. That's why they won't use them now. Israel, would they use one? They they have proven to be highly unpredictable, and
if you should be scared of one, that would be Israel. They're enough corrupt to use any kind of weapon that they can justify somehow. And the other thing that they can justify is that it doesn't have radiation, like what happened to Japan. So when it explodes, it has a huge impact, and that's it. It's not gonna impact. It has a
I understand what you're saying, but even if Israel uses one, and all everything you said is correct, and it could be used this way, and technically there's nothing wrong with using it this way because the fallout is minimal, like the radiation fallout, so you don't have to worry about civilian casualties. However, because it has the word nuclear in it, because it is technically a nuclear weapon, the U.S. and all the Western nations have agreed that it falls under the same doctrine as traditional nuclear weapons, because it opens up the door for any state or non-state actor to also use one because it's already been used. It lowers the threshold.
I agree.
And they don't want that.
This, but consider that in these 2 last years, they have crossed any red lines that they had in genocide.
Israel has.
And talking, the U.S. supported. I mean, you can't just say Israel has said or no, Netanyahu was the one who wanted to do this. They were justifying in all governments, and Biden and Trump and by any.
But the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Pentagon, National Security, the Department of Defense, all are on board. Not just here in the U.S. Every nation that has nuclear weapons are on board with not using nuclear tactical weapons because of the chain reaction it would cause, where terrorists could get their hands on them. States that don't have nuclear weapons will say, "Oh, well, these are safer. These are safer, not so much fallout, but it would give us the deterrence we need, and we could use them because another country has already used them, and it was okay." And so it just opens up this precedence that the Western countries, especially the nuclear power, Russia, China, and the U.S., which they're all aligned on this, by the way.
I agree.
That tactical nuclear weapons can never be used. Period. Any nation that uses them,
you can't say they never can be used. We have enough dumb people to don't think about it and do it.
I'm saying as a policy.
We have this doctrine called the MAD doctrine, which is mutually assured destruction, right? And when we're talking about
Russia, I think it's with Russia.
It's sure it's with Russia, but the entire world also understands this as well, because every single country has a tie either back to the United States or Russia at this point, right? So let's say Israel, who has a tie with the United States, uses a nuclear weapon on Russia, right? Though Russia has ties with Israel, right? Russia depends on China and Iran, right? It will find an excuse to use its nuclear weapons, like you said, either on Ukraine, on America, whatever it would be, right? So the understanding would be that once these two start, then anyone else that has a nuke is just going to be like, okay, I guess we can open it up and start firing it at our enemies. And this is what
that's the danger
about.
That's the danger. The threshold, the lowering of the threshold is the danger that the Western countries are really, really scared of, and that's why they're really against. And nuclear tactical weapons could be very useful in making tunnels and for demolition. Very useful. With like I said, it's just the nuclear part of it is what's keeping this from even coming into the private sector to be used for demolition, which will save millions, if not billions of dollars, instead of using traditional TNT.
It's not
but
just
they can't
that.
do it.
It's not just that. So I remember going ahead and talking to this one defense contractor and we were talking about why nuclear resources would never be given to private contractors or private entities, so on and so forth. And he basically pointed out this. He's like, you do realize that most of the people who run these companies are either like huge multimillionaires or billionaires with an ego so vast that is bigger than Earth. And they're so stubborn within themselves that they will use any of these nuclear things in a very improper way, or poison a lot of people with it, either for their profits, for their ego, or because someone hurt them, right? And that becomes a huge problem in and of itself. So America understands that it doesn't matter how rich someone in America gets, don't give them any nuclear, materials or whatever. And then he also talks about the fact that, technically speaking, if everyone in the world was sane and they could give out nuclear materials to these private companies or whatever, and it won't fall in terrorist hands and all that stuff or whatever, you could revolutionize the entire energy division of the United States to be years ahead of anyone else on the planet, because they have nuclear submarines that uses that to power the submarines for years on end, right? And they never have to refuel. So it's kind of like there's a lot of benefits with going nuclear, but the drawbacks is you have the giant egos that will end up killing everyone.
If I may, to be honest with you, I missed half of your conversations, but I heard the nuclear. Now, do you really think that nuclear could possibly be an option for Israel, given that Pakistan made it very clear that they would support Iran, and they also put out a show for their biggest rockets or biggest, most advanced missiles they have in Pakistan in support? They were also asking the Arabs and the Muslims in the region to prepare in case anything is to happen to support Iran. What do you guys think about that?
So I think when it comes to
It's
Israeli
deterrence.
nukes, what Pakistan is saying is deterrence, right? Because Iran doesn't have a deterrent. But knowing Israel the way it is, right? You have to understand, these are the same people that went ahead and committed terrorist acts on their own people just to go ahead and get a point across. I don't think using a nuke in their eyes is going to be something they're scared of, right? If they have to use it, they will use it, no matter the deterrent. It's like
Sam,
a captain going down with the ship.
Sam, they have something to lose. Let's be honest. Israel, if the government fails, the whole country fails. Iran, even if the regime fails, the country doesn't fail. So Iran really has nothing to lose. It's Israel that has something to lose.
Yes,
So
I
I really
understand.
think that they will consider.
That's
But you're forgetting.
That's not because we have lots of potential to be divided. We have some different, what do we call it? We have Turks, we have Kurds, and other not tribes, but other people that they want to be separated, and actually
I said you guys didn't know if you guys want to come on up, Nargis and Muhammad and anybody,
yeah.
Hey, welcome, Salam alaikum.
What Israel is doing right now is promoting them to, and actually they have some statements and they're saying that we have to be activated and start, while Israel is attacking us, we have to start to get part of Iran, and they have actually published some statements. So we are in danger too, but regarding Pakistan, they did a very smart move, because they knew that they're going to be the next one. If they conquer Iran, they're going to be the next target for Israel, and they have to stop them somewhere. So they're doing a huge favor to themselves if they keep Iran from failing.
So what I was trying to get at with the whole nuclear thing is that you have to understand who the Zionists are, right? Like, let's take a step back and look at why Israelis are not allowed to leave Israel, right? Especially if they have dual citizenship in America and all that stuff. They know that if the Israeli population believes Israel is unsafe, and they're the first people to go ahead and run, then who are the people that are staying back? The Palestinians. Does Israel want to give up land, especially if No, they're more about containing everyone inside. But on the second hand, you also have to understand that Israel has always taken major risks on themselves just to go ahead and get a major payout later on. And if that means their destruction, they don't care. So remember when they attacked the U.S. Naval fleet? I forget the name of it. Like back in the 60s and 70s, just because
the US.
yes. So they understood from the Americans that, they will open fire on us. They would wipe us off the map if, if we attack them or if we did anything to piss off the Americans or whatever, right? And they did that for some time, and the Americans were not gonna be on the side of Israel until Israel was just like, wait a second, why don't we just start using money to lobby in there in the first place? And then that's how we got AIPAC and all that stuff, right? But mind you, it was known as political suicide to do something like that, and Israel was just like, don't give a fuck, still gonna do it, right? So Israel in and of itself is like, if it knows that tomorrow is gonna be wiped off the map, there's gonna be no more Israel tomorrow, it would rather take more people and more lives with them, like a captain going down with his ship, and they'll be like, it was well worth it.
That's an interesting point. Good evening, everybody. The way I see, I don't put. What's up, man? Good evening, everybody. I don't. I'm gonna first say.
Excuse me. My name is Point, so be careful how do you say the word point around here. Okay?
Yeah, I agree. So I don't put anything past anybody now with all of the crazy headlines we got going on. And I also want to, protect myself and say, hey, I'm not an anti-Semite or no shit like that. But the truth be told about Israel is they're the type of fucking, guy you go into the bar with and they punch the biggest guy in the face and then run up to you and say, hey, you can totally take that guy, right? It's nonstop shit. The USS Liberty definitely was to get us in some shit. We got Jews fucking dancing in the street right after 9/11. And then we got Jews dancing in the street in fucking New York City right after Israel hit Iran just recently. This ain't got nothing to do with the Jewish people. We're talking about the Mossad. We're talking about the CIA. We're talking about the Iranian government. We're talking about the KGB. That's what this shit is about. It's us, the people, fucking sitting around trying to go to work, feed our families, feed our friends, pray to our gods, live our lives, fuck our wives. And just have a good time and fucking barbecue. And these motherfuckers want to barbecue us with nuclear weapons. So I don't doubt that anybody at this point is not that much eager to use it. I don't think the U.S. is eager to get into no shit. I don't even think Russia's eager. I think Russia got their hands tied and they want to get some shit consolidated in their area. But I don't put nothing past. I don't put nothing past countries like Israel, fucking India, fucking North Korea. Like, these people are unpredictable. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, brother.
But I really think that Israel this time made a huge mistake when they attacked Iran, and Iranians would not let them go. Would not let them sleep this time. Brother, this is a moment of silence after spending 17 hours on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I spent 17 hours in a bunker in Tel Aviv.
Okay.
Tell us about your experience.
So you're planning for your 18th hour, point.
Point.
People walking in the butt in the bunker. I saw that. I saw a lot of things going on.
Listen, point. Did you spend it as a man or as a woman?
Sing the song. Point. The Born King song.
Al Jazeera is showing the military strategy of Iran. It's so well explained.
Walking in the bunker in the butt.
In the butt.
Bunker in the butt.
In the butt.
Walking in the butt in the bunker. Walking in the butt in the bunker.
But
Walking in the butt in the bunker.
So is it in Tel Aviv or in Haifa? Yeah, point. Tel Aviv or Haifa?
Haifa, هلا صارت Haifa.
Well, they already took it in the butt in Tel Aviv. Now they're taking it in the bunker in the butt in Tel Aviv. Yeah, in the bunker. Bonking butts in the bunker.
In Haifa.
The butt in Haifa. Oh, that's right.
Motherfuckers, I was up all night trying to watch some fireworks, but you know.
Nah,
disappointed.
because of the G7 day.
Yeah,
I don't think, yeah.
Nothing happened.
Feeling scared a little bit.
I just imagine Trump and all of them clowns right now being on the phone 24/7. Oh, don't do it, don't do it.
But do you see they announced that Trump is trying to get a meeting with the Iranians?
Yeah. No my gosh, it's too funny they canceled on him and I thought it was genius, brilliant, 10 out of 10 would recommend, please hang out.
Did they cancel on them?
Yeah, they canceled on him yesterday. They were supposed
Oh,
to,
fuck.
yeah,
Wow.
they were supposed to have a meeting and they were like, no, you don't want to, you're not ready for this, sir. Like,
I didn't take it. A couple of times they canceled and they'll take it. Maybe, I don't know. Because these fuckers are like really killing civilians.
yeah, no, I agree. And like, it's like they don't care. They're just like, oh, we need to defend Israel. And I'm just like, come on. Like, we've been through this. Let's just, they attacked first. They need to be punished. No one needs to. They need to be punished.
I'm not sure if you followed what happened today or tonight or not. So first, the army of Iran tweeted and expect from that tonight is going to be different. If you want to stay alive, you should leave Tel Aviv. I'm not sure if you have heard about it or not. So everyone in Tel Aviv, they were trying to even rent a boat for $1,000 to just get to Cyprus or the closest thing. And lots of things were happening at the same time. And then Trump tweeted that they should leave to Iran. And then Iran hacked a couple of things in Israel, and then the missile that they launched, they couldn't follow. They couldn't.
Trace it. They
couldn't track it. Yeah. So it was a full of surprise night. It was fun to follow.
So Fred, what do you think is gonna happen? یعنی چی خواهد شد؟
Honestly, it's getting ugly at the same time. It's kind of, I believe Iran going to compromise a couple of what they had on the table. They're gonna get rid of not totally, but they're gonna get rid of part of their enrichment, and at the same time they're not gonna let the missile program. So they're gonna meet in the middle. That's what I hope and I think is gonna happen after Trump asks them to sit on the table again, sit for negotiation.
Yeah.
But
I also
every
agree with you.
yeah, when Trump like before the last tweet that Trump said, he called Vitkov, I guess, do the negotiation at the first possible time. I thought he was going to get involved, and I'm not sure if the last missile that Iran launched has changed their mind or not, because it was like totally 180-degree opposite side of a decision, from deploying army to Middle East to asking for negotiation. It's like it was a deal breaker missile, I guess. I'm not sure if you followed it or not. They hit one of the news channels, the main news channel.
Yes.
Building in center of Tehran, which was the total tourism in 4K quality. They're not ashamed anymore of doing the worst thing, and they can just justify it by the bullshit.
Brother, did anything happen to the people there? Like any injuries? Any
Couple of them, couple of them killed. We have some injuries, but well, kind of a good outcome was coming out of it, because the anchor, she was staying on in front of the TV, and she wasn't leaving, and they kind of made a good figure from her, and they're maneuvering social medias from her. Yeah, it's like every move that is happening, each side is trying to make a winner car from it. But that's
Did they
interesting.
catch it on camera?
They got it on camera. You can find it.
She didn't even blink.
Wow.
That's what's.
Wow.
She
Her
didn't
hand was not shaking, and they're comparing her hand that is not shaking with Netanyahu's hand when the first time Iran was targeting them. That was the first thing, and another thing happened. I forgot.
So what was Iran's retaliation? Because I see, like, maybe, did Iran retaliate last night?
Well, tonight it's night. It's not. Oh, actually, it's getting to get warm in there. But but they said we're gonna get revenge. Evacuate channel 12 and 13.
12 and 14, yeah, they sent out
but
warnings to them, yeah.
I don't think they hit it.
No, they didn't. Not yet, at least.
I don't think they're gonna hit it, because I believe they know that they cannot get out of it. Easily can get out of it and do something, but if they do it, they're gonna maneuver on the media that see what happened. They just want to get casualties, like.
Iran is killing journalists, something like that.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what Iran does, they're always gonna spin the story.
Yeah, they twist their story for sure.
Might as well hit, I say. Might as well hit.
Exactly.
Another interesting thing was, yeah, I'm not sure if you know that the channel Iran International, they made it specifically to start a war with Iran. Like 8 years ago, they started broadcasting this channel, and Netanyahu himself was in this channel. Is this war?
Yeah, they finance it.
And it was, and I believe they hit the media. They hit this what do we call it? The building in Iran because they wanted to. They didn't want people to have any other channel to watch, so they watch Iran International channel.
So-called democracy.
Iran International is literally a propaganda network.
It is a propaganda.
It's based out of London.
That the time that they decided they wanted to get to war with Iran, they founded Iran International. And from the first day, they were trying to just.
I think it was less war, brother. I think it's more to create internal division and strife.
Obviously. Divide and rule.
Yeah, divide and rule is a long playbook.
Bro, you know, in the Knesset, the only thing left is for somebody to stand up, walk up to Netanyahu and spit in his face.
He's
And
not
he's
even
still
there.
not giving up.
Dude, what dreams we all have, man. For Netanyahu.
I wouldn't even waste my spit on him, to be fair. Why would I waste my
I
spit on
agree,
him?
General. Not my.
I think each of us is like.
Yeah, but that's lawyer talk. Someone I would have to pay us.
Why would I waste my precious?
Exactly. Someone pays it and I will spit.
I think all of us have fantasized that dream at least once during this time.
But
I actually don't dream of Netanyahu, thankfully.
I mean, the spitting you might, surely.
Not even the spitting. Not at all.
But I don't think it's him. It's them. Like all of
It's
them
the
are.
system.
It is a system.
It's a system.
He's the
It
puppet.
is
a system.
He's a stupid puppet for the show. I mean, taking him out.
He's just the
doesn't do
head of the
anything.
snake at the moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, hardly. I'd say the head is the system. He's a wagging tail. We're not seeing the head, we're seeing the tail. Head needs to go. Bastards.
Airplane, any updates? What's going on?
No, not really, man. It was a very limited attack.
The last news is that they found some boats on fire on Hormuz Strait.
I checked on the NASA's website and there's nothing, because you can actually follow them. There's nothing on it, so I don't think it's real. It happened 3 years ago, so I'm unsure if it's now or.
Okay. Good.
Could they surprise us and do something during the day?
I think so.
I don't think they'll do things during the day.
Always at night time.
At night is always better, yeah.
The night is young, babe.
Yeah, wake them up when they're asleep.
Are they even sleeping?
Santa always comes at night, remember?
Are they even sleeping nowadays?
Nah.
Yeah, but Santa always comes at night through the chimney.
Damn. What they've done to us that we speak like them. We speak like this. Can you
No, we don't
imagine?
speak like that. We're not genocidal maniacs. This is far from genocidal.
You push your people so long. And you press this much. What do you expect?
Yeah, but see, this is what happens. You know, when you've had a country and all that country is known for is brutality, murder, theft, thuggery, the world will cheer when this country feels a bit of its own pain or, gets a taste of its own medicine or collapses. People will cheer this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a psycho.
You know what's funny is Israel is the strongest and